a stuntman, a bounty hunter, and a GMC truck that became a legend. Behind the truck jumps and the theme song, The Fall Guy, hid a few genuinely strange secrets. These are 30 facts about The Fall Guy. Entire show was born out of a phone call. Producer Glenn A. Larson had a friend, David Somerville of the doo-wop group The Diamonds, who was humming a tune he'd written called The Ballad of the Unknown Stuntman. Larson liked it so much he had Somerville swap one lyric to reference Farrah Fawcett, then called Lee Majors on the spot and had Somerville sing it to him right over the phone. What started as a passing musical idea between two friends ended up becoming the seed of an entire network television series. Number 2. Majors wasn't a fresh face when that call came in. By the time Larson reached out, the $6 Million Man had already been off the air for roughly 3.5 years, canceled back in 1978. In the years between, Majors had mostly worked through a run of lower-profile films before The Fall Guy brought him back to series television in 1981. Number 3. Network executives weren't originally sold on the concept. A show about a Hollywood stuntman who moonlights as a bounty hunter sounded like a hard pitch, and it took actually hearing Majors' demo recording of The Unknown Stuntman to change their minds and get the series greenlit for a full run. Number 4. Colt Seaver's truck wasn't a fictional design dreamed up by an art department. It was a real, specific vehicle, an early 1980s GMC K2500 wide-side pickup, fitted with a 6-inch suspension lift and massive 37-inch off-road tires, built to handle the kind of terrain a studio car simply couldn't survive. Number 5. That truck didn't survive the show in one piece. The stunts destroyed multiple physical trucks over the course of the series, which is why eagle-eyed fans have spotted continuity errors. The pilot episode's truck had square headlights and a tan interior, while nearly every truck afterward had a completely different quad headlight front end and a dark brown interior. Evidence of just how many replacement vehicles the production burned through. Number 6. After enough trucks got wrecked doing the show's biggest jumps, the production had a custom-built jump truck made specifically for stunt work, engineered with a mid-mounted engine and a reinforced frame and axles, just to survive repeated abuse that would have destroyed an ordinary factory pickup within a single episode. Number 7. Like most TV leads of the era, Lee Majors didn't perform the show's biggest jumps and falls himself. That work went to dedicated stunt doubles, a standard industry practice driven by insurance and safety requirements. That said, Majors was still known for doing a fair amount of the physical fight choreography in person, picking up real bumps and bruises along the way. Number 8. The show's pilot episode included a genuinely personal moment. Farrah Fawcett, amid a highly publicized separation from Majors, their divorce wouldn't be finalized until 1982, appeared as herself specifically to show audiences that the two were parting on good terms. A rare bit of real-life vulnerability folded into an action show's premiere. Number 9. Majors and Fawcett's paths diverged for years after their 1982 divorce, both eventually remarrying. But the warmth on display in that pilot scene wasn't just for the cameras. The two reconnected later in Fawcett's life, and Majors has spoken about being in touch with her again before her death in 2009. Number 10. Majors used his real Hollywood friendships to fill the show with celebrity cameos playing themselves, bringing in stars like Lindsay Wagner, James Coburn, Stuart Granger, Linda Evans, and comedian Buddy Hackett across various episodes, turning the series into an ongoing reunion of familiar faces from Majors' own career. Number 11. Singer Lou Rawls appeared in the very first episode as a character called Country Joe, one of several real-life friends of Majors who showed up in the pilot alone, setting the tone for a series that would lean on Majors' actual Rolodex for years to come. Number 12. Lou Ferrigno, fresh off his own fame playing the Incredible Hulk, appeared as himself in a fourth-season episode titled The Winner, giving two of television's biggest physical stars of the era a shared scene together. Number 13. Heather Thomas, who played stuntwoman Jody Banks, became one of the defining pinup icons of the entire decade, with her poster hanging in bedrooms alongside contemporaries like Farrah Fawcett, Suzanne Summers, and Lonnie Anderson, making her nearly as recognizable off-screen as Majors was on it. Number 14. Behind the glamorous image, Thomas has openly discussed struggling with a cocaine addiction during the show's run, eventually entering rehabilitation in the mid-1980s to get clean. A difficult chapter she's since spoken about candidly in later interviews. Number 15. After the show ended, Thomas's fame brought a darker consequence. She's spoken about facing repeated serious stalking incidents, including one frightening episode where a stalker climbed the fence at her home, wielding a knife, an experience that contributed to her eventually stepping back from Hollywood in the 1990s to protect her family. Number 16. Lee Majors, Heather Thomas, and Douglas Barr, who played Colt's cousin and stuntman in training, Howie, formed the show's consistent core across all 5 seasons. The 3 faces who anchored the series from its earliest episodes through its final season. Number 17. The show's female supporting cast wasn't static. Actress Joanne Flugg played bail bondswoman Samantha Big Jack Jack during the first season before departing, and Markie Post eventually settled into the role of Terry Michaels as the show's new bondswoman for most of the remaining seasons, giving the ensemble a noticeably different dynamic as the show matured. Number 18. The theme song Unknown Stuntman, performed by Majors himself, wasn't just a TV jingle. It became a genuine minor music hit in the early 1980s, particularly popular in Germany, giving an American actor an unlikely overseas chart moment. Number 19. The Fall Guys' popularity spread well beyond the screen. It spawned a 1981 board game from Milton Bradley, a comic strip adaptation drawn for the UK's Look-In magazine, and a licensed video game released in 1984, turning Colt Seavers into a genuine multimedia character. Number 20. Series creator Glenn A. Larson wasn't a one-hit figure. He was also the mind behind Knight Rider, Magnum P.I., and the original Battlestar Galactica, making him one of the defining architects of 1980s network television, with The Fall Guy standing as just one entry in an unusually stacked resume. Number 21. The bounty hunter side of Colt's job wasn't just a fun plot twist. It was a practical, budget-driven storytelling device, giving the show a way to deliver a steady dose of action every single week without needing to stage a full-scale movie stunt sequence in every episode, since a full studio-scale set piece simply wasn't affordable on a weekly TV budget. Number 22. When the concept got rebooted as a feature film decades later, that entire bounty hunter angle was dropped completely, keeping only the core idea of a Hollywood stuntman as the character's identity and shifting the plot toward a rescue mission instead. Number 23. Landing the lead role wasn't a total surprise for Majors. He already had history working with Glenn Larson through The $6 Million Man, a relationship that made him a natural first call when Larson needed a lead for his new stuntman concept, rather than a cold casting search. Number 24. The role gave Majors an entirely second wave of stardom, following him right off the heels of $6 Million Man fame into an entirely new decade-defining role, proving he could carry a hit show without the bionic gimmick that had made him famous the first time. Number 25. The show ran for 5 solid seasons on ABC, and decades later it still has a devoted following. GMC truck collectors and 80s TV fans keep its memory alive through fan clubs and die-cast collectibles, a niche but genuine cult presence that helped pave the way for its 2024 film revival. Number 26. Colt's beat-up GMC pickup became such a recognizable pop culture object that it got its own toy car versions, sold right alongside other iconic 80s TV vehicles like APT from Knight Rider and the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard, cementing it as one of the decade's most merchandised television vehicles. Number 27. When The Fall Guy was remade as a film starring Ryan Gosling, its mid-credit sequence was built specifically as a loving tribute to the original series, styled like a previously on The Fall Guy recap using an old-fashioned typewritten title card. Number 28. That tribute came together directly between Majors and director David Leitch once the project was confirmed to be moving forward, with the two of them working out an appearance that would ultimately bring both Majors and Heather Thomas back on screen together after nearly 4 decades. Number 29. Leitch has said Majors correctly predicted exactly where in the film his cameo scene would end up placed, a bet Leitch has publicly admitted he still owes Majors $1,000 for, a small real-world footnote to a decades-long friendship between actor and filmmaker. Number 30. From a stuntman's demo tape sung over the phone to a reinforced jump truck and a decade-spanning legacy that outlived its own cancellation, The Fall Guy became one of the defining action shows of the 1980s, proof that sometimes the best TV pitches really do start with someone singing into a telephone. 30 facts about the original stuntman who started it all. Which one surprised you most? Let us know in the comments.